On board. Are we ready? Are we live already?
Live.
Vámonos, YouTube yarda. What's crack-a-lackin', homie? Am I live already? We gone? We good? We good? What's up, homie? Just had to pick it up right now. What's crack-a-lackin', Raza? You know how we get down. I'm a little slow today, you know what I mean? A little setback, but we all good. We're still live. We're coming out a little bit past 7 o'clock. As long as we beat the time before the fireworks, we're all good, homie.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We welcome you guys to the Rockin Chicano show. It's Tuesday the 8th, I believe.
Yes, sir.
It's Tuesday
the 9th.
The 9th. Órale, feed me. I'm a little day off, homie. Like if I was torcido, if I was busted, don't keep track of time or the date, homie. The more that you do it, the better that you are, homie, you know. And next thing you know, you'll be 5 days in a week. Wake up, homie. You'll be ready to rock and roll. Get ready to parole, homie. And bounce, rock, roller skate, get your $200 gate pass money. Vámonos. Back to the hood, homie. Where everybody knows you, that everybody misses you, homie, but nobody send you a freaking package or a stamped envelope, homie. And all the hyenas are there because you're fresh meat. The cougars are there growling, homie, ready to reel you away from all the homies, and you're already all locote. You end up the next day all crudo, all passed out. You don't know what happened. You look at your time and you're like, oh damn, I gotta go to the parole office today, homie. You're late for your parole office meeting. He's not there. Ask for the officer of the day. They give you the piss test, homie. You don't pass it, you already violated your parole. They gaffle you up, and here comes the Grey Goose down to Chino, homie. You're like, what happened, homie? You just couldn't handle the parole, homie. That's all that happened, homie. Yeah, gosh, I think I've been there before, homie. Yes, paroling is hard. It's very hard. You get nervous. You get the butterflies in your stomach, and you're anxious to get out. Don't know what to do, and the next thing you know, there's drogas, there's pisto, there's hyenas, there's ranflas, there's everything there. You're like, damn, where was this at for the last 5, 7, 8 years, homie? You know. And then you end up all locote, PCP'd out. One time I got out, and sure enough, yeah, I get out, and I told my jefita, hey, let me borrow your ranfla. And she's like, yeah. So I just jump in her. She used to have like this Dodge Hornet, old ranfla, battle ram that the hubcaps were still original. It looked like Roman ancient chariot wheels, homie. You know, I jumped in under a 4-door straight 6 on the engine. Just, vámonos. I was gone on it. Next thing you know, I'm up in the hood, just like all feed, man, all level 10 there, all cool, whatever. And next thing you know, I got PCP'd out, homie. I ended up in an apartment with the homeboys, the homegirls, and I turned around, grabbed the ranfla, I dropped some of the gente off, and I'm just driving off, and next thing you know, the car dies out on me. I'm like, damn, I'm too frioed out to even do anything with it. So I just called up my tios, and hey, man, my mom's not picking up on me. I left the car right here, dog. I gotta go back to the hood. They're like, you're out, fool? When did you get out? When did you get out, fool? Don't worry about it. Just come pick up the ranfla for the jefita starts tripping, do me that paro. They're like, you should have just called me, fool. You're like, nah, don't trip. And walk back to the hood and party again, homie. Like, the mensadas that people do when they're high under the influence and their life ain't in order. Today I was like, I'm bumping, I'm bumping some steel posts, you know what I mean? I'm bumping in my truck and USB,
Bluetooth.
The Bluetooth, and I'm like bumping. I'm like, yeah. you know, and I had the windows rolled down, and I see my wife getting out of work, and I'm picking her up, you know, and I'm just like mad dogging her, you know, and she's like, what's your pedo? You know, what you tripping about? Man, I ran the guys before I met all you fools, homie, you know. I was the man, homie, back then. Now you fools run my life, homie. That ain't fair, homie. He goes, you all right? I'm like, I'm in a viaje, man. Just sit down and stay quiet. I'm bumping this all the way back to the hood. You know, she only works about 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just bumping back into the water, and I walk out, and you know, my neighbors look at us funny, huh?
Yeah.
The neighbors look at us funny. They look at me funny.
The neighbors already know what's up. Like, it's nothing new.
And today, right now, earlier, I came all G'd up, and all the neighbors were outside. So they were just like looking at me like, ¿Dónde va este cholo? That's right. La familia, los cholos estamos aquí. That's right. You know, I go, I ran the calles before. Now I'm running with this family here, homie. And you see my son getting in the truck. I'm like, damn, I gotta get out of here. What happened to me, homie? And I start talking to myself like, what happened, fool? You had it going on, homie. You were all right, dog. You know, you came in and you went as you wanted, Holmes. Wherever you laid your hat was your home. That's it. You know, and then I'm like, damn, you know, and I'm like,
but no, you wanted to change, huh?
But you wanted to change, homie. Now you want to change. Now you want to have kids and roof over your head. You want responsibilities. Ándale. Querías casa, güey. Querías familia. Damn, homie. But anyways, back to the YouTube yarda. You know, I was in a viaje today, Alfred. You know, like, damn, homie, I ran the streets, you know.
Take me back, bro. Take me back.
And it all started off because the homeboy Joker's, he's fixing my panel right there in the water, right? Well, he's all fixing it, you know what I mean? I grabbed everything that we needed, and I was just right there, just posted, you know, and he's just talking to me, and he works kind of fast, you know? And sure enough, the homeboys pulled up with the windows down. They look at me like, what's up, fool? Hey, what's up? A couple of the homies are like, hey, man, you know, the homeboy's getting married and this and that. And we're like, yeah, once I heard. And we just start chopping it up. And they're like, man, Holmes, you got responsibilities. You can't go nowhere, you know? And I was like, yeah, I know, Holmes, you know what I mean? But at least I'm out. I'm free, you know? And that was just like, we were just chopping it up for a while. And I was just like, man, let's go, fool. Pick me up and take me out of here, fool. Vámonos a las calles again, you know? But all in all, you know, I'm blessed. I'm happy that, you know, I was able to change my life. And some people don't. And some people never come back. And some people end up gone, you know? Gone, lost, like his uncle, like my brother. And that's estufas, you know? Pero it's good to reminisce here and there, you know. It's good to talk about it. It's good to,
it's a trip, takes you back.
You know, just chop it up, you know. One of the fans in Facebook, welcome you guys, Facebook, YouTube, like, congratulations, meet each other, firme. I got fans on both sides, you know, much love and respects to everybody. Where's Rosie? Rosie's missing in action.
MIA.
You know, and not that she's missing in action. She just does her things, and when we get together, you know. I'm on her as much as I can. Sometimes she'll take off, I'll take off. So, you know, when we're here, we make it happen. You know, it's not a mandatory that she got to be here, you know. Right. It's not a paid gig like that, you know. So whenever I can make her videos, I'll make them, you know, if I'm free. So it's like, oh, you know, it's a push and tug at the same time for both of us, because sometimes she could make it, sometimes she can't, you know, and vice versa. But definitely, she's still going to come around no matter what. She's firme gente, you know. That's one thing I want you guys to understand, that she's one cool person. She's straight up, you know. Her yeses are yes, her no's are no's. She's not like in the middle. She's real firme, and that's what I like about her, you know. Marlene says, your son is handsome. Yes, he's growing up. He's getting up there, and, you know,
be 18 next year.
Be 18 next
be 18 next year. Ooh. And I think I came to the radio station when I was like 13, 14.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all I gotta say, he's turning 18. What does that mean, Daniel? You better have what?
You better have something ready. You're going to the Marines.
You gone, fool. Rato, vato. Ain't no, hey, Dad, you can stay here till you're 27.
Hey, Dad, I just paid my bills. Can you pay me back real quick?
No. 18 years old, es cuéntate. If you ain't working, if you ain't hustling, you're not welcome in the canton.
No, that's the truth. That's
You
the
know,
truth.
that's it. What's up, Monica, Marlene? What's up, you guys? Mary, what's up, you guys? Everybody tuning in. Thank you, guys. We're live in the YouTube yarda right here. If you're all level 10, walking around with your fierro ready, you know, and hey, you're more than welcome. You get that, what is it called? The gossip spirit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where you have the gossip spirit. You heard your tias and your comadres, everybody talking back and forth, their comadres, and it stuck with you. Hey, Holmes, you're in the perfect spot. Just weedy and never handle business, you know?
Yeah.
That's the YouTube yard. Nah, where they talk about other men and talk about politics and
Look into the camera when I talk to you.
look into the camera when I'm talking to you. This is the crime that took place. I got information through my email from the direct resource he explained to me. That was the Sally. Like, what the heck? First of all, how does the Sally get a freaking phone for him to go out there or let female? I believe it. Okay, you got a phone, but you're going to talk about this? He's going to email you the story about his Sally that got dealt with?
Yeah.
Oh, man, homie. You sure ain't got a freaking life, homie. Chico, Sue. Imagine if we talked about that, you know? No, we don't talk about that. We talk about whatever comes up, whatever topic comes up. And today, we're going to talk about tortas.
Sí.
Las gorditas.
Damn. You gotta bite her double chin before you kiss her. Right there, take it to the neck.
Wow. We're talking about tamalitas.
Have you guys seen that reel where it's that one guy and he's going to mac it with the sign up, but before he macks it, he bites the double chin of the hind.
Nah.
Yeah, she's a big old girl too.
Big.
That's love right there.
That's
That's
love
love
right
right
there. Big
there.
girl need loving. Nah, we ain't gonna talk about big hyenas because you know what? Big hyenas are all right. You know what I mean? They're all right. They're firme.
Right.
Especially when you need the EBT. Perfect timing, dog. What's up, girl? Masa kalamasa. What's your code number? Slice the thing. They look at you, the cashier's looking at you like, that's not your EBT. No te preocupes, homie. Samita, what you want, homie? You want some pork chops right here? También. Nah, we ain't gonna talk about that, dog. We always talk about things of life, you know what I mean? Everything's positive, you know. I know we clown around a lot and we joke a lot, but all in all, you know, this podcast has always been positive, you know. It's always been feedback, you know. Chino, gracias. He's going to be going to Vegas. Remember, you guys, we got a show out there in Vegas in October 25th, right after the Super Show on Fremont Street. That's where we're going to be at. Big old show, homie. You know, the walk-ins are free. So, Kyle, have entertainment. It's going to be good. Mary says, Daniel, proud of you. May God guide you and protect you in your ventures in life.
Thank you.
Monica's laughing at the EBT joke.
EBT.
But I could sure go for some EBT. I seen a post the other day. I just got approved for my Section 8. Doggone it. How do I get a freaking Section 8, homie? How do I get hooked up like that?
I was gonna say, man.
Man, homie, just like, oh. No, tú trabajas, güey. Tú no eres welferino, homie. You gotta work, fool. Like, damn, dog, really, homie?
You ain't got no choice.
You ain't got no choice, homie. You gotta bust butt, homie. You gotta get your hustle on. Hey, Shale, homie, I'm institutionalized. I qualify for that, homie. Nah, chalecos. You that right here shows that you're married. You got kids. Nah, Shale. I'll be like, damn, homies, I don't qualify for nothing, homie. You know, I try to qualify for Medi-Cal. And they said, nah, we got Obamacare, but you know, you
get an Obama phone, but you ain't getting no care.
even that they took it away. Trumpster took it away. That was been going hard at us, you know.
Tough, bro.
So No EBT cards, no Medi-Cal, no nothing, dog. You just gotta work, homie.
Like
and
it
they
out.
extended the Social Security to your what, 70, I think now?
Yeah.
Ya estufas, homie. 70, you're lucky if you make it.
Man.
Most people live up to 60 something. That's the majority of women. Ya estufas. So there goes your Social Security, homie, you know? Pension, well, I worked for the union for a little while, but they kept that feria. I know I ain't getting none, homie. You know, I should qualify for being institutionalized since I spent all them years in prison, homie. You know, they'll probably bring all that up. Like, well, you never wanted to speak to a psychiatrist. You always played games with the psychiatrist. Psh, heck yeah, I did, homie. Take 2 of these and you call me in the morning, homie. What do you think I got in my pocket right here, homie? You know, it's between my fingers, homie. And they'll be like, what the heck? You freaking crazy, homie. Don't even trip, Chrome Dome. I can see you're bald headed. Calm down, Kojak, with your little reader, homie. It's all right, dog. You know. I know you didn't go to college for that. You might have been just regular community college. You didn't go to doctor school, homie. You know. And I used to give them a hard time, dog. And they'll be like, "Are you sure you don't want medications, Mr. Tabares? I think you qualify. I think you it would be good for your mental state of mind, you know." Like, man, really? For reals? So if you want to give me a pill, I'll go even more crazy. Oh, you want to put me to sleep? I already sleep my freaking regular 8 hours. I mean, what else you want me to do? Just sleep there and
Sleep
come
for
out
16,
like,
bro.
come out like a zombie, like a momia, you know? They'll be like, no, but you know what? We evaluate everybody here, especially in the shoe term, you know, and it shows right here. It shows that you've done nothing but PCP and hardcore drugs, and you are an alcoholic. What does that got to do with this, homie? I know it got me here, but still, it's irrelevant. I tell you what, take 2 of those, and you call me in the morning. Maybe I could get that little suit that you have on, put it on me, and I could play doctor, poke your head with it, you know? I know they would probably bring that story up, and they said, nah, you don't qualify, Mr. Tabares. I know. I wish I did, you know? But anyways,
Man. Oh, man.
everybody's laughing in here. That's
I'm
right.
telling you, man. Imagine, Slick. This is what you hear every day, bro. The stories, bro.
Yup. The stories from back then.
Oh, Marianne says, and? No, and I didn't take the medication.
No, bro.
I didn't take no medication. Oh, I
Put him
swear.
to sleep for 16 hours. Are you kidding me?
There was this vato. He was all beat up. He was my neighbor, you know, and, you know, they evaluate you a lot there,
Right,
homes,
right.
because you know what I mean? They want to check up on you or whatever, you know, and they're always, wherever you're getting transferred, whatever the case. But there was this vato, Gabacho, and we used to call him Barnacle Bill, and he would wake up like a zombie. And beard and everything, just walk and get his food and come back. I'm like, man, what kind of life is that, homie? You know, well, just always, I had a homeboy, I'm not going to say his name, but he started taking those medications since he started doing time since he was about 8-9 years old. And he got out at 11. He was foster care placements and all that in about, he went to YA around 12 years old, 13. He started taking those medications, the hot meds, and just for the hell of it, you know. And now he's not all there no more, you know. Those medications are something else, you know. So, nah, we're straight. If we don't qualify for anything of any financial aid or whatever the case might be, that's fine. You know, I know we got to work. In this lifetime, you work. The man that doesn't work doesn't deserve to eat, the Bible says, you know.
That's right.
Are the bills tight? Always. They're always tight. But no matter what, you have to push forward and make plans in the future and write it down. Explain it to your partner so they could see the vision, or your business partner, whatever it is, you know. That way you guys could come in one mind and one accord to bring finances to the table, to the family, to feed the kids, and to have a roof over your head. A lot of times, I do know that it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil.
Correct.
It's not money, but it's the love of money. Are you in love with the money, the money itself? It is the root of all evil. I look at it like this. I gotta survive. I gotta make it some way, somehow. And with my work, my skills, and the blessing of God and the faith that I have, it does take us to another round. It does take us to another place. You might think at times that it's not possible, and you don't see no light at the end of the tunnel, and people might not believe in you or understand the vision and the dream that you have. But remember, you have a gift. That gift that you have, it's going to take you a long ways. It's going to help you out. It's going to open you up doors. I believe myself that after all I've been through and I've understood the whole situation, that is how I'm so blessing to other people. God blesses me in return. It doesn't go out void, I helped out so many people and they always come back. It always comes back to me. What do you think, Danny, on that?
On pursuing on what you need to do, or
pursuing what you need to do and how the doors open up for you.
well, whatever you do, you gotta have faith. That's one thing for sure. And if you don't have faith and you don't believe it and you don't see it, it won't ever happen. Because if you believe it, you're gonna get there eventually. But it's just a process. You gotta go through the desert to get to the river on the other side. You have to go through the hard stuff, and a lot of times you're just by yourself and you're just doing it, or sometimes it's a family thing, a couple thing, and however it goes, you're gonna go through that time where it's just like, man, come on. But if you just believe and you just keep going, God's got you. God's got you.
That's right. You do all the cutting and all the metal. I don't do it, right?
Right.
So he runs a home machine. He runs a warehouse. I don't, so he's almost turning 18. At times, I sit down and try to evaluate everything. What's our next move? What's our next commitment? What's our next strategy? What's the blueprint? And I have to sit down with him, especially with Daniel, because he sees more of a vision of what we have established. It doesn't mean that the mom doesn't see it, but more of a visionary is my son, and he helps me out a lot. So I do know that with the faith that we have towards God, he has opened us up some doors, and sometimes it might look like it's not opening, but it opens up, homie. Whether you like it or not, whether you don't understand it, it's gonna open up. It's up to you to decide if you're gonna walk through the door. Then nobody could push you, nobody could grab you by the hand or tug you in. You have to walk in yourself. So it's pretty firme. It's a risk taker.
Yeah.
But with everything's a risk taker, homie. When you buy a house, when you buy a vehicle, whatever the case might be, you have to take that risk. You gotta, today I chewed out my son Benji because he got on the van and he got all scared, and I could tell he got scared. Man, stop being no chavala fool. Grab the thing, make it to the right, make it to the left, reverse, forward, And we can't be scared, At 13, I remember, oh man, he started driving at 8 years old.
Yeah, like 7, 8.
8 years old. I remember 8 years old, he was driving the Ranfla. And with this kid, he's already 13. He had more responsibilities. And just because he's a baby doesn't give him the approval of him not learning these things, at a perfect time. Yeah, I understand that. But I told him, you can't be scared. I sat him down. I punished him. I said, nah, homie, you ride your quads, you ride all that. So you already know your left, your right, your reverse, your drive, your forward, the curve, everything, how to parallel park. I go, you do all that, so I don't see why you have a problem with the van. And I sat him down and I told him, you can't be scared. Whatever the case might be in this lifetime, you can't be scared. You got to push no matter what, I know there's always conflicts with the mom and me, you know, and I tell her, I'm trying to raise men. You're trying to raise hyenas. It don't work that way, you know? And I'm thankful and I'm blessed that me as a father, I'm there to raise them to the best of my knowledge and to teach them wisdom, to teach them knowledge, to teach them faith, to teach them wisdom, everything there is to be able to survive in life. Because in this life, homie, it's a dog eat world, homie. They'll tear you up, homie. They'll eat you up alive. I want my kids to go out there and go prosper and go push and go move and be prepared with these things of life. You know, in my case, it was very hard because I was just lost. I was running the guys, you know, and I was just didn't care. You know, it's not so much that I didn't care. I just didn't know. I didn't understand. I didn't pursue it. I didn't get it, you know. I didn't know how to do a good criminal life career, you know what I mean? Just go do jales, go do robberies, go do this, go steal the ranfla, go sell the dope, go pick up the dope, go cut it up, go weigh it, you know, how to separate everything, you know, even up to cooking it, you know. There's some things that it was hard, but I was able to survive in that mode. But was it the right mode? No, it wasn't. You know, it was the easy life. Easy. That's easy, homie. Doing a robbery is easy. You know, what do you mean it's easy? Yeah. Just get the ranfla, get the cuetes, get the gloves, get everything ready. There's no DNA left behind, you know. $3,000 less because if they give it to you in packs, there's a tracer in there. And if there's a tracer, there might be a die. There's two things. After 15 feet away from the door, the die will explode. The money won't be no good. You grab the bag, you chuck it out the window if you can. Go pick it up right after you toss it, or you're clear, no explosion. Vamonos, you're gone. Have the other ranfla ready. Get ready to pick up. You know, what do you mean another ranfla? Yeah, you gotta have 2 getaway cars. You just can't have one. You know, you have 3 minutes to do the jale. Why 3 minutes? Because that's how long it takes for the holder to get there. Fastest response is whichever unit's the closest, that's the closest time that you're gonna have. You know, the least time that you're gonna have. Most of them are 2+ minutes away. You have within 120 seconds. Man, that's a lot of things that you could do. Do the jale, open the door, get everything, gaffle everything up, tie it up, vámonos, throw it out, vámonos, in the G-Ride, you're gone. Go down the calle. By that time, it takes you about 4 to 5 minutes before the helicopter starts getting up on the air. You know, by the time it gets already there, you're already done. Well, half a mile away, boom, vámonos, en friegas. Go hide it, go, you're about, 6-7 blocks down the calle. You already got the other G-Ride. You're gone. You take off. No DNA, no trace on that. Vámonos, you're gone. You get away, you know. Go back to the hideout. Split up the feria, everything. You're cool. You're firme. Another jale, you know. Those jales are simple. Those jales are easy, you know, until you get caught. Then what? The same MO that it was used on these other ones, they tag all these jales up to that one, you know. Then next thing you know, you're fighting what? 8 robberies, 10 robberies, and it's like, damn. You know, the best thing to do is always separate the cases. If there's criminals there, you separate the cases. What do you mean to separate the cases? Yes, because you have a better chance of having 3-4 lawyers against one case than for you to have one lawyer with 4 defendants, you know? And if you're facing state time, then you're going to face the state of California, then United States itself. You got to know the difference between your state and your federal, you know? After you do that, you separate all cases. You separate the cases. Yeah, you separate the cases. Why? Because you have a better chance of fighting it. Because there's more lawyers, there's more things pending. And to try to convict one, and then try to convict the other one, it's going to be a little bit harder. You know? See, that's easy. I know all that. Pick up the time. Don't take it to jury if you already know that you're going to lose. They already got the weapons, they already got the money, they already got all the evidence that they can't. Don't. All you do is you ride it all the way through until you get ready to pick your jury. You act all chingon. You act all metal. You know, you play it. It's like a game of poker. That's what it is. Just how they play it, you play it. What do you mean that's what they do. They go out to dinner. Lawyers, district attorneys, all of them go out to lunch and they go talk about ex-convicts and convicts at the cases that they're fighting and this and that. That's what they do. You think they all, they hate each other? They all get along. That's how they get upgrades. That's how they get promotions. City senates and all that, and the seats are open, and the district attorney has all these convictions, and all this is a money thing, and that's how you got to understand that the system is rigged up for you to fail, for us to fail. What do you mean it's rigged up for us to fail? Yeah. Do you really think that the district attorneys and the judges are going to go out there and make programs where there's no criminals? Heck no, homie. The more convictions, the more prisons, the more better. Let's get them all in there and make state bonds out of you and make you'll be up on Wall Street, and have stock bonds under you. Jeez, homie. What else can you ask for, homies? You're just a perfect candidate. Let's go make money out of this guy. What's his last name? Gonzalez? Even better. What's his last name? Johnson? Black and brown? Throw him in there. Let's get all the convictions. So you play hardball with them until you get ready to go and pick up your jury. Try to pick up always the best jury that you can. What do you mean the best one? Well, try to figure them out, dog, more or less. If they're a little bit... If you could see some Chicano in them, some Cholo in them, some kind of a meaning of them or the area that they live in, then they could kind of be more lenient towards you. If they look like hardcore liberals or hardcore Republicans, you're screwed, Holmes. You're gone, dog. He's a hardcore gavacho, you're gone, dog. Look at your jury. You know it more or less. When you've done and picked the whole jury, órale, firme, let's go take it to trial. When you get ready to go to trial already, you already picked them, you already ready, go back and, hey, throw them a poker face. What do you mean? Go back to the district attorney. We could avoid all this. We already done and wasted taxpayer monies for all this time. We've been fighting this case for almost a year. Give me something that's reasonable, get the conviction, I'll go pick up the number. They already know the way to speak, and next thing you know, it's like, ole, firme. We offer you 7 years, 8 years with 1 strike, 2 strikes. Or, nah, I'll take 7, I'll take 1 strike and such. Nah, well, they ain't doing it. All right, well, we're out of time. We come back again. The next day, the same thing. You go back, you bull crap them, homie. You go just like they do to you, you do to them. And the next thing you know, you got your conviction. What is it? 6 years and 1 strike. 6 years, can I get a 4th whip? Yeah, you get a 4th whip. That means they haul you down to prison. You don't wait for the whole system where all the convicts come in. One system, one de volada, get them out of here. Go get them and register, stamp them, get his CDC number. You go to the yarda, you good to go. You get your jale. Start your halftime, if you get your halftime, or 80%, whatever the case might be. Then you get 3 meals and a roof. You're good to go. Play handball, TV, yep. The radio, work out. See, that's easy, homie. Yeah, we know it because we play the freaking game. It might be hard to you, but that's easy. Living that life is easy. Come out here and go jale. Go do this. You have no money. You can't do the crime. You can't do this no more. You got to want to open up a business. You got to go to school. You got to get educated, Go get your college degree. Go get this. Go get that. Your kids are sick. You need insurance for them. And it's like, oh, man.
And Obama doesn't cover it.
Now Trump is on board. Now you're threatening to get deported. I'm freaking born here. Well, let me see your paperwork. No, you're Raza. Your last name is Gonzalez, and you're asking me for my freaking paperwork? Chalecos, homie. Why are you working for the Euro-American? Yeah, they label everybody Native American, Mexican American.
Golly,
Asian American. What about Euro American? That's what he is. You know, you keep it real, homie. Why you gotta work for them, dog? You know, let them handle their business, homie. But no, you're caught up. We're caught up in this madness. You keep on pushing. You keep on thriving, homie. Get a cantona, get a ranfla, get the insurance. Now you really have the hardcore things. Now you really face with the real life matters of life, homie, you know? Now you really stuck, homie. See, look back and say, man, homies, you know, if I would have started a long time ago, then I would have been successful, you know? But no, you waited. You messed up.
Yep.
You were caught up in this madness, caught up in this web of law, issues, prison, drugs, running back and forth, state to state, doing what you had to do, thinking that it was easy money, thinking that you were going to come up. The sad thing, almost all of them don't come up. Maybe a little handful and get away, but most of them don't get away, you know? But that's real life. That's crazy, huh?
That's facts, man.
Mario says, easier in there, but nothing like being out here doing what we got to do. Yeah, I would hear the homie saying, can't wait to go to prison. Next thing I knew, I was saying it. Yeah, can't wait to go to prison. A lot of people say that when they're out on parole or out there in the calles. Why do they say that? Is because it's very hard. And a person that's been institutionalized, it gets very hard for you to try to function in society.
Correct.
I've always said 5 years. 5 years. Takes you 5 years, homie. After the 5th year, most likely you ain't going back because you've adapted into society, you know? And it's not easy. The hardest thing was changing and accepting that I have a family now. That was the hardest thing, you know? Knowing that I have a big responsibility to take care of the kids and all that. So it's like, whoa, whatever happened to me, what happened to, you know, my old ways. Let me go hustle it. Let me go move it and make a little feria here, make a little feria there. It doesn't happen no more. Times and people have changed. The system has changed. The laws have changed. And they ain't playing around no more, you know? I do know that they've overturned the 3 strikes, but there is still the Habitual Criminal Act, which is 25, 15, and 35, you know? So they still ain't playing. Now with Trump out there and really want to push the issues where he wants to send out even the homegrowns, you know? At times I think about, can he deport me to a third world country even though that I already done my time? People will say, oh, it's against the law. It's against the law. He can't do it. Man, he could do whatever the hell he's been wanting to do. He's been doing it, you know? Does it cross my mind? Yeah, it does. You know, even though I'm born here, you know, to him, he don't care. You know, funny thing that he's been convicted, pero le vale papa, you know? His highness, his wife's family came the same way as our families did, you know? And he don't care. He has the convictions. Nah, even if you have an arrest and you got your green card or whatever, he's coming after you, homie, you know? Times have changed. It's been harder and it sucks. And race is at its finest. That's why I don't understand how Raza could go and work for them, dog, you know? I don't get it. You know, I know they're American, but at the same token, that's our people. It gets hard, pero you got to do what you got to do, homies. You know what I mean? Reality check, homie. Right, my brother?
Yes, sir. That's what it is, man. I think you're hitting the nail, man. Things haven't changed. I think we've seen this story many times. I mean, think about it. This has been back from the Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, down to Obama, down to Trump, now Trump, Biden, now Trump 2.0. It's something that it just happens. I mean, it happens, man. We're here and we're constantly maneuvering through challenges, man. We're
Yeah.
constantly working our way through, working through different challenges. But guess what, man? The community is resilient. You know, we're strong in numbers, and I think you know, as long as we keep the faith and stay strong,
Yeah.
things are gonna come and go, man. We've been through this before, right? Remember?
Yeah.
First it was the George Floyd, you know. Then it was the Rodney King. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
you know we've seen this story before played out.
Yeah. It's been hard. You know, they've done it to us before, twice. You know, it's sad because I know a lot of people without papers, you know, and I always tell them, be careful. I check up on them, you know what I mean? And here's my number. Something were to happen, I'll pick you up. I don't care. I ain't tripping, you know? And today, in Bellflower, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
They came dressed as public safety. That was no public safety.
No, it wasn't.
It was not no public safety, and they were.
Because you know, public safety stays right there and they start talking to you. But
Yeah.
this guy started a movie, why? Where you going? Come back. I want to talk.
And he had handcuffs, extra handcuffs, and all that. And I was like, in the vehicle, and
Right.
it wasn't even a public safety vehicle.
Public safety has just yellow lights. He had a blue and yellow.
Yeah, and the whole 9 yards, red, yellow, and blue,
Yeah.
and California license plate of the government, and it was a white truck. And we're like, what the heck, you know? But I know they're scouting the land, and you know that means they're gonna come. Most likely they will hit Bellflower, but you know, I was over there today, and me and my son were like tripping out, you know. And I go, hey, that's ice, homie, you know. And they're like, no. They got a little scared, but, you know, when you see them, you know what I mean? Their raza's like, man, what's up, fool? You know? But, you know, it's sad for our people, Holmes, you know? But all in all, you got to have faith. You got to have faith that everything's going to turn out okay, Holmes. You can't give up, you know? It's up to you whether or not you want to self-deport. You know what I mean? I can't call it. I can't call it. You know, just be ready to live in a different country.
But before you do that, try to stack up all your money first.
Stack your feria up.
Yeah.
You know, if you're used to the country, then that's firme. If you're not, then it's gonna be a shocker. You know, and be ready. It's just different. It's a trip because I see YouTubers and some influencers and always talking about Mexico. Oh yeah, Mexico this, Mexico that. And he shows nothing but the good parts of Mexico. Show me the slums, fool. Show me Tecate. Show me El Florido. On the way down to El Rubí, all the houses made out of wood and cardboard and all that. Show them all that. Where the stairways are made out of tires and all that. And then when it rains, it's all mud right there, you know? Show me all that. Where they make them out of the houses out of pallets, you know? They won't show you all that, you know? You just show the good part. But it is some sad part. It is some rough parts in Mexico, you know? And most of the roads are jacked up. It's going to give you a flat tire, tear up your ranfla, you know? The good parts, yeah. Well, there's some nice parts. I'm not going to lie. But he always wants to show the good side. Nah, no es así, homie. And you get gaffled up, homes, you know? When the federales come, they don't care your skin color. They don't care about that. They need the money, homie. That's the truth. They need the feria because they're paying worth all that. They'll gaffle you up, you know? And like, hey, what's up? Where you come from? Who, what, when, where, you know? I was right there by a restaurant the other day, and they gaffled up this guy, and he had like 8-9 grand on the bag, and he had a lot of feria, and they in his wallet. Well, he had about 8-9 grand in the bag, and in the little duffel bag that he had, and they had put him over right there in front of us and gaffled that fool up, and then after that, he's like crying to him, no, don't take my money, don't take my money. And they took that fool's money and gave him back the wallet. You know, And they told him, no, this money is not clean. This is not clean, but yet they ain't clean themselves, and they took it, you know. And that guy stood there crying, you know, like that was my money, you know, and bastards. And, you know, it happens, homie, you know. It's just be ready, homie, you know. But it's hard. Mary, I hate this falling world. Yeah. Robert, we all need to stand up. Yeah, that's right. Mary, I would say worry about where your soul is going to go. Yeah, Mary, we definitely where your soul is going, but to the time being, you're stuck here, you know? You have to worry about your situation, you know? Of course, you know, being realistic, you know, just being realistic, you gotta have faith. You gotta trust God that everything's gonna be okay, no matter what, you know? At the same token, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta look out for yourself. You gotta look out for your family. You gotta look out for the best interests of your family. God will open up the doors, but it is your faith. It is you that you need to push, that you need to go out there and really be successful, you know. God will open up the doors. It's up to you whether you're going to walk it or not. Even pastors have been deported, and Christians have been deported, you know. People, some of the Christians will say, well, that is still breaking the law, and that's against God's will. So is what the president's doing. That's breaking the law. All those things, they're all breaking the law, you know. We all fall into that category. Regardless of the matter, we got to have faith. But all in all, you take care of yours. You push, you know. We cannot say, oh, we'll leave it in God's hands. We'll just leave it in God's hands. No, God's hands is there opening up the door for you. It's up to you to do what you need to do in your life, you know. It's like that guy that it's got stranded in the islands, and there was a flood, and he got stranded in an island, and he's all like, hey man, you know what, God's gonna save me. No, come on. One boat goes, second boat goes, and he's like, nah, God's gonna come for me. Third one comes, and God's gonna come for me. Then when he dies, he goes up to God, hey God, I thought you were gonna save me. I sent 3 people there, you don't want to take it, you know. So God will open up the door. It's up to you to determine what you're going to do with it, you know. But all in all, you need to take care of yours, you know. You need to be vigilant, trucha, be wise, be alert, where to invest your money, where not to, you know. What's going to happen? What if these things were to happen, and, you know, and if not, you know, you got to be ready. Whether you're rich or poor, God don't look at those things, you know. He looks at the soul. He looks at the spirit. You know, he said, when, what was it, the king and Lazarus, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, in this lifetime, in that lifetime, you had everything you had.
Yep.
And the other one was a beggar, you know? And then he dies and he gets carried. And when he went over, he's telling me, hey, let him dip his finger in the water with his finger so he could put it in my mouth. They can't cross over. You know, see, God already knows whether or not you're going to be rich or you're going to be poor, but you got to be consistent. That didn't, you know, it's a trip because the beggar, if God knew that he was going to be poor, listen to this, Alfred. The beggar never stopped begging. You feel me?
Yep.
The beggar never stopped begging, even though he had God. You feel me? That means he had faith. And no matter the situation that he was in, he had faith. And whatever the ball bounced on him, it rolled with it. And he did roll with it. You know? His life must have been hard, you know? But he had faith with God. If this is what I need to do, then I'm going to keep on pursuing it. You know, of course, you get other Christians who will tell you, oh, no, with this, with that. And, you know, they'll try to justify a lot of things. No, there's nothing to justify. All it is, if that's what it is, then we got to keep on going, you know. If we got to go get deported, then we get deported, you know. If we got to go help out the raza, then we help out the raza, you know. I help out You know, a lot of people disagree because I like to speak on the raza, speak on the behalf of the Chicanos, and they don't like it. Oh, why they gotta be like this? Why they gotta? Because that's what God put in my heart. You know, that don't mean that I hate whites. I don't mean that I hate Morenos. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But they got their own people. Didn't they have Martin Luther King? Didn't they have all the priests from the days of they started colonizing the whole states? They had their priests. They had their bishops. You know, me, I like speaking on that. I have to speak on it. You know, my family taught me that. When I was a young man, my grandma used to speak to me like that about the do's and the don'ts. So I got to speak on that. Always to motivate the raza, to push them. You know, I could relate to them. I can't relate to a gabacho. I can't relate to a moreno. I can't relate to an Asian. I'm not married to an Asian. My brother is not white, you know. Even if he were to be half white, he's half. You know, I can't relate to them. I could relate to the barrio. I could relate to the slums, the welfare, the system. I could relate to all that. I could relate fighting with the city, fighting with the system. Education, I could relate to that. What do you mean relate to that education? But you didn't graduate or do this? I know. But how can I do that? I was once like this. Now, bring me somebody. Oh, man, it's on, dog. I'll go fight with the district, you know? Because I know the do's and the don'ts. I know how they walked all over us. I know how they took money out of the system, you know? They lived good and we didn't, you know? I just like representing the raza, you know? But if that's where God has us, then that's fine, you know? Mm-hmm. We roll with the punches. Just like that beggar, he kept on begging, homie. Mm-hmm. The trip, huh?
That's wild, man.
Mary said, I say we are born with nothing and going with nothing, but our souls will. Yes, Mary, we will. That's the truth. I like your positive thinking, Fernando. Saludos, carnalito, from Sunnyvale, Washington. Oh, what's up, Fernando? Gracias, homie. We leave with nothing, you know? But for the time being, you got to go hustle it. You got to go push it, you know? You got to go out there and go hustle it and go make it happen, you know? If you don't make it happen, if you don't push for your people, then, you know, where's the organizations? Where's the structure? Nah. You know, you got to go help out people. You know, I used to be like, man, you know, God, if you give me all the money, I'll go do all this and go do all that. No, it don't work that way, dog. It doesn't work that way. You got to be able to know how to work the finances, how to build it, how to have structure, education, banking, income tax, and do all this process so you could claim the finances, dog. And it could come back 100-fold. Like, what? You just can't give me the money like that, go help everybody out. And no, it don't work that way. I didn't like getting involved with the city. I didn't like getting involved with nobody. But not getting involved with nobody, it's a wrong way. And I tell that to people. They're like, what do you mean it's a wrong way? It is a wrong way. Because this way, you could make an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, 50C3. You could make everything right where the finances are going to flow good and you could take care of everybody. That's how the churches do it. Why do you think the churches ask for tithing? Besides the pastor getting his feria. If you do it right, you could build a structure. And if you could build a structure, then the people will come in and the people will get saved even more. Why? Because you have a facility to go to. Mm-hmm. You just ain't out there in the streets where, oh, well, I got salvation and that's it. Oh, you got salvation, but ain't nobody leading you, nobody guiding you, nobody talking to you, nobody's schooling you, nobody's breaking you down, nobody's developing that gift that you have so you can help the next man. A lot of pastors is like, oh, it's about me. It's about me. It's not about you. It's about everybody else but you, homie. You know? Those that are first will be last. Those that are last will be first, homie. You know? It's not about you, dog. It's about everybody else. God will take care of you. Take care of what you need to take care of. Do it right. Build a structure. More money and more finances will come in. It's up to you how you're going to spend the money. It's up to you if you're going to blow it or not. It's up to you, homie, you know? A lot of people hate it. Oh, but that's not right because that's in the Old Testament. That's all this. And like, I don't care. Old Testament, New Testament. Give, Mental. Give out of your pocket. Give out of your heart, homie. It's not about you. When there's a challenge for you to give, homie, when there's an offering or whatever it is, it's not for you to give like that, dog. It's for you to understand that the only way you're going to be able to succeed, homie, especially from us, that where we come from in our background, is to have an open heart and give and do, homie. Mm-hmm. You know? Oh, no, I did it all by myself. I came up. I'm self-seeking. You're self-made? I'm self-made. I did all this. Well, look it up, homie. That means it's demonic. What do you mean demonic? Self-seeking is demonic. If it's about you, then it's demonic, homie. Oh, so yeah, dog. That falls in the category of the love of money, homies. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I had to do it just to survive this and that. Well, you didn't have faith, homie. You gotta have faith, dog. You gotta have faith that everything's gonna go good. You're gonna hit some hard times. Eventually, those doors are gonna open. You're gonna have to handle your business. You gotta have faith that he's gonna see you through. You gotta have faith that understand how the finances work, how the structure works, so you could grow bigger. You know, it's a funny thing because Rockin Chicano just has my face, and I've always mentioned it belongs to God, not to me. If I ever walk out of the familia and all this, and if it all falls apart or whatever, hey, I came in broke, I'll leave broke. All this belongs to God. And if God bless my kids and my wife and all that, that's fine. It just has my fat face in the logo. The logo, the product and all that, of course it was hard. It took a lot of time and money and effort. I know the formula. So if I would hit rock bottom, I know how I could do it again. But most definitely it don't belong to me. It belongs to my kids. But while we're here, how come I can't teach my kids how to give, how to do, how to produce? Or do I just teach them the basic things from a barrio? Or just graduate school and that's it, mijo, you're good, be good, and go work construction and that's it.
Figure it out.
Wait for your 30-year pension payout, you know? Can't do that. That's what you want to do? Not live till you're about, 60 and that's it? 50-something? Got to get surgeries and all that? Nah, homie. There's more to life.
And now Social Security 70?
At 70? No, no, homie. And give them the cheap hollis? Nah, we don't. Or go work for ICE? Oh, they pay you the... Man, so... I said, how, homie? How? Oh, well, we're helping the economy. Man, homie, go do your homework. Go do your study, dog. You know? Then you'll understand it. But if you keep on pushing... You have an open heart, an open mind, how it works, how the structure works, man, you'll be good. You'll know how the money flows. You know how the program is. You know it. And you know why you know it? Because the money don't belong to God. God's rich, homie. God's rich. What did he say about the money? He said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So you already know. But Jesus understood the process of the tithing. He understood go get the money, go get the tithes, go get the feria. He sent out Peter to go get the feria. Go to the pond, you're gonna see a fish, and you're gonna see him popping out, and the fish pops out, and there's a denarius coming out. See, he understood that he had to pay his dues. He understood without the feria, it wasn't going to be able to function just like that. So he did all the gifts and the wonders. He did all that. But there's a scripture where he told Peter, go get the feria from the fish's mouth. Mm-hmm. Imagine how Peter felt. But wait a minute.
Which one?
Which one? But you know, he was like tripping. He probably, his eyes were like this big. Yeah. And what you guys don't know about that scripture is when he sent out Peter to go get the feria, to go pay the alms, to go pay the feria to the church, mm-hmm. Peter goes out and gets the feria, and guess what else? He gets lunch while he's there. What do you mean lunch? He brought back the fish. You don't think he brought back the fish? Mm-hmm. So here we got some lunch with this. Heck yeah. And the feria, he kicked up the feria. I thought, and Jesus gave it. Vámonos.
Yep.
You know?
Lunch.
And when they try to challenge him, he says, hey, let Caesar, give it to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. But see, he understood. So without feria, you can't move it. Mm-hmm. The Old Testament says that. But as long as you're able to leave a legacy for your kid, an inheritance, the Bible says he's a blessed man. He's a wise man to leave an inheritance for his kid. Are you not going to leave him something? You can't. Some of you guys can't leave your pension behind. Some of you guys can't. You can't transfer it, you know? It sucks. Well, I just let him go to school and, no, homie, there's more.
Somebody's got to do the sacrificing.
Somebody got to do the sacrificing so you know it and you keep on pushing, you know? And as long as you're able to move the feria, move the program, move this, move that, you're going to grow and you're going to help people grow. Mm-hmm. And you're going to develop them. And they're going to understand you. You're going to understand them. It was a funny thing because a lot of people, I bump into a lot of people, oh, Rockin Chicano, first time I meet you, man. Oh, my God, it's been forever, homie. You know what? They thank you for everything that you do, you know, and why? I don't get mad at them, Alfred. I don't. Mm-hmm. But why you thank me for, homie? Mm-hmm. Thank the man upstairs. Me, homie, feed me a little pal. Feed me. Stay down, homie. It's cool. I'm happy with that. Hey, homie, hey, you know, hey, big dog, you know, everything that you do is positive. Go do what I'm doing. If you could pick something up of what I do or you get involved, you're already doing a big difference, homie. Mm-hmm. You know, you're doing a big, big difference, dog, in your life, in your community, with your gente, with your loved ones. You'll be good to go, homie, you know? You don't have to get stuck and just tune in every week or let's see what he's going to talk about or try to wait for me to fall. I'm going to fall before you. I already fell like 7, 20, 30 times, homie. And don't even trip. I'm going to keep on falling to the day I fall. Literally. Underground, homie. You know? Because I ain't perfect. If you try to find a defect, man, homie, it's just me. Anthony. You know? Mm-hmm. With that itself, tells you that there's a lot of defects in me. You know? You want to talk man to man? We could sit down man to man. You want to confess things to me? That's feed me. We could talk that. You know? I confess my sins, dog. I don't need to sit there and hide behind a perfect scenery of Rockin Chicano. I don't care, homie. I've had my ups and downs. I have my setbacks. I've had my issues. My kids know that I'm far from perfect, homie. Far. You know? I had my ups and downs. A lot of times I don't speak about my personal issues. But when you're face to face and you ask me, I speak. I talk. I do. I have no shame. I mean, what is there to hide, homie? That I'm a wretched man? Yeah, I am. That I'm a sinful man? Yeah, I am. I'm a sinner? That's me, you know? Imperfect? Kyle, closer to me, you know? Angry? Snaps? Cusses? Want to fight at times? Right here, dog. You know? But you get on your knees and you ask for forgiveness. And what kind of God? That's a God that loves imperfect people, you know? And I'm one of them. And I will bow down to him. Because whatever's around me, whatever mistakes or whatever, he's a forgiving God. And he understands that at times I'm not right. Yet he has mercy and grace upon me. Which I should have been dead. I should have been doing life. I just spit some game of how to beat the system, you know? How to do the robberies. I spit some game. I should be doing life. I could break you down so many things of a criminal career. How to cook, how to do this, how to get rid of certain things. I can't mention these things here, you know? I should be doing life. I should be dead. But see, God's mercy and grace keeps me going. Because no matter what, I will always say that everything belongs to him. And he's my God. He's the man. But wherever he puts me, whether it might be in a bar, it might be in a concert, it might be in the calles, it might be in church, he knows, and I know, when it comes down to him, showtime, baby, that's you. That's not me. That's when it's showtime, man, that's you. Or is it true that you believe in God? Is it? Yeah, I do. Is it true? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I trip. Yeah, you know. But you're gonna talk about God? Yeah, that's true, homie. That's true. Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, that's true. And that's society thought about that before I even straightened out my life. So throw that in there too. No hay pedo, homie. You know? They'll look at you weird. That's fine, homie. Because ain't no one is able to break me down or do to me like the system has already done to me. It don't matter. Not here to please you. Not here to put up a show. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here because God tells me to be here. Times I don't want to be here, but I'm here. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And most of the time I'm wrong. But it's okay. Because I don't got to ask for forgiveness from you guys. YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. Ask for forgiveness to God. This weekend, a vato almost ran me over. You know? And the guy was peeling out at Rusty's cruise night. And that's my homeboy. Rusty's a good dude. And one of those burnout cars, I could tell he came around and he had his beepers real loud. And he comes around and it was by Compton, so I figured they're deep there. And it was like a GTO. And he comes around and he pulls up right there, and he was the only one out of 300-400 of us, you know, and he starts peeling out in the street, and it's real narrow, and there's kids, and there's ladies there, and there's cars there, you know, and le valió papas, you know, and he peeled out, and I stood there with my camera in the front, you know, waited, like, okay. You know, I'm recording you, homie. You just let it go, dog. It's okay. It's not like if you're doing it down the street where there's no cars, there's no people. Mm-hmm. That's fine, dog. But there's people here, so I got right in front of by the car. And he came so close that his mirror hit my elbow. A little bit of my elbow. He tapped my elbow, you know? And he seen me there. Y le valió madre. you know? So right away, you know what I mean? I give him the bird. He seen. I start walking towards him, you know? Could I have moved to the side? Yeah, I could have. But see, when I have a good friend like that, and then there's people there, I'll do the best that I can. But see, this is where the funny thing happened. I walked down there towards the end to see if I could catch him because that was the exit. And I knew that I would probably get into a confrontation, most likely turn off the camera and go handle business, whatever I had to go do. But as I getting closer and getting closer, you know, my anger starts building up more and more and more. I said, all right, this fool almost ran me over. It's on now, you know. And I was willing to do what I had to do at the time due to the fact that I was angry. As I was getting closer and closer, my anger started building up even more. But unfortunately, well, the good part of that he wasn't there. He had taken off. When I turned around, I came back, then the conviction started setting in. It wasn't the part about, so chingon, I'm going to go take care of this fool. That's right, he should have left. No, the conviction kicked in. And I felt guilty. And right away, I had to apologize to the crowd that I was live on TikTok. You know, the conviction started kicking in. It's like, man, you know, that's not right, you know? See, I deal with my matters. I deal with these issues. I deal with the convictions. Why? Because I'm imperfect. Though I had to do what I had to do, but at the same token, doesn't mean that I don't have a heart. Doesn't mean that I don't get a conviction from God. I do. And at night I went home, and after I went home, I turned everything off. I took off. I went home and, you know, laid in the bed. And I had a horrible dream. I had a bad dream. And I felt like I was really in judging mode. Like I was being judged for my soul. Spiritual warfare was taking place. And do you know why that happened? It was due to the fact that I misrepresented the Rockin Chicano name. The anger, the violence of me came out in front of the camera where God doesn't approve of it. Now remember, this belongs to God. The name belongs to God, not the anger. At night, I had a terrible dream. I knew I was fighting for my salvation. It was a spiritual warfare. The dream was, I have opened you up these doors. How can you throw that out there and put me in the crossfire for your anger? Social media belongs to me and nobody else. But yet you're willing to sacrifice all this? That's like throwing everything that I gave you. Then the demons started trying to attack me. And people were looking at me through the social media dream. And I was like, whatever, you know? Whatever comes down to it, comes down to it. The crazy part was that when the gente came out and the demons came out and I was through social media, 2 dogs and 8 bodies came out. They looked at me and they're ready to chew me out. What do you mean 8 dogs? Yeah, 2 bodies, 4 dogs to each body. And they were Rottweilers, they were black. And I knew it was a spiritual warfare. I knew what was taking place. Because of my anger, because I disrespected God in front of the camera, which I shouldn't have done, I've always kept my composure in front of the camera. But I felt that if I get in front of this fool and he could stop, which I was hoping he would stop, he tags me with his rear view mirror on the side mirror. I turned around and gave him the bird, and I said it out loud. That was a disrespect to God, not to that person. It was a disrespect to the gente, not to just that person. When I woke up in the middle of the night and I knew that I was having this dream, I had to understand that all this social media belongs to him, nobody else. When I was in the dream, I just called out his name, soft and gentle. In Jesus, in the name of Jesus, I believe in Jesus. Everything poof, vanished and disappeared. I woke up with the chest pain. I woke up stressed out. I woke up like I was in a battle. And I started praying. Surely cleared out. But see, it goes to show you, just because you have a podcast and you have a name and you're out there, don't mean nothing. You're still a sinner. I'm imperfect. I will always be imperfect to the day that I die. I'll try to live that life. I'll try to be good. I'll try to do this. You could try. It doesn't hurt to try. But I give it my best that I can. That dream, it made me understand and realize, hey, this social media, this Rockin Chicano belongs to me. Belongs to God. And I will always be imperfect. But hey, I'm here. We push. We do. We keep on striving. We keep on pushing. We keep on doing everything that the Lord gives us. You know? No matter what, don't ever stop. Is that a crazy dream?
That's wild. That is wild, man. Hey, big shout out to of the official Joe, bro.
Big Joe, how you doing, fool?
He's at the YouTube yard right there.
What's up, man? Gabriel too.
Gabriel
Hollywood. Look at Gabriel's up there.
Yeah.
That's right.
What is it? The Majestics in the house.
Yeah, I know.
The Mad Rapper, homie.
Mad
Rapper. What's up, perro? How you been? Hey, big dog, I'm be doing the show out there in Hollywood, dog. I mean Hollywood. Vegas, homie. That's your name, dog. Hollywood. We'll be out there. Becky will always be tested. That's right. That's right. We always will. I seen Becky out there in the cruise night, and we had a good little talk. Tiny talk, but it was real good. Anyways, what do you think about that? Man, we're just going all over the place.
Acapella, bro. But you know what, bro? It's hard, man. It's hard because when the conviction comes into a dream, brother, and man. But you know what? That just shows you that hey, you're imperfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not all perfect, and so being imperfect really just brings us into the notion that we need God, man. We need Him at all steps.
Oh.
Because we're not perfect. We need Him by our sides all the time. Because, you know, we are going to tend to fail. We're going to tend to mess it up, screw it up. And we're just striving to try to do the best we can, you know?
Yeah. Becky put the crying face. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Becky. Talk about Becky.
No. Shout out, Becky.
Shout out, Becky. Becky's open like that. I trip out on Becky, and she's cool, huh, Paul?
Yeah, she's cool, people.
She's real cool. You know, I had a conversation with her one time in front of Steven's Steakhouse. She had a nice little ranflita. She has nice cars. And I always see her, and I was here with her husband. And I got to ask her, it was just me and her. And she was waiting for her friend to come out, or I don't know, I can't remember, but we were just chopping it up. And she was explaining to me that her husband lets her do all those things. You know, I get to go out, I get to do this, but my husband's a good husband. He lets me do what I want to do, and then I'm happy to do all this. And that's why I cruise and I donate or do whatever I can, you know, and I'm blessed, you know. And, you know, that I have a good husband. I'm like, yeah, he's real cool, you know. And unfortunately, he passed away not too long ago. And I seen her this weekend. I said, cruise, homie. As you cruise in your Ranfla, that's what he would want you to do. Because if he let you do that when he was alive, he'll let you do that when he has gone home with the Lord. You know? And it's hard because you can see she tries to cruise, but that same smile that she has, that smile that she had is not the same. You could tell it's a fake smile.
Faded.
Oh, I could tell, like, right away, because we know her. You know, and when you lose your partner, when you lose somebody that approves of your lifestyle and provide it, you know, you're left with everything, but to her, everything is nothing now. You that's the story that I read from her. Everything is nothing now, you know, but she got to do the things that she liked to do when he was around, and he would go with her. It was real cool. Firme vato. You know, even with the dances and all that, you know. But you have to remember, Becky, you have to do what you have to do. Keep on pushing. Don't give up. Don't turn back. And he's always let you be Becky. And you know Becky when she's coming. Her chinito eyes, her light skin, her little makeup thing in her lips, her tando, her wave, and a firme ranfla. That's the way he would always see you, so that's the way you're going to keep on going like that. Help out whoever needs help, and, you know, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your whole family, you know. Good people. Good people. Condolences, Becky, I'm broken. You're so right. Yeah. Keep pushing, Becky. Keep pushing. Much love and respects. Our whole family's here for whatever you need, you know. See, people like that, you get to know them. Yeah. Huh, Daniel?
Yeah, you do.
How many people we got to know like that?
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people have different crazy stories and what they've been through. And the good thing about growing up from nowhere is, like, you get to understand, you get to realize. And that's one thing that a lot of people need to see, is that you just got to accept who people are. And when you grow, don't forget where you came from and pick up the people that are down and out, you know, just little things that matter to them. And everybody's just trying to make it out. Everybody's, if you look at everybody's stories and back then, now, and it's, everything is to try to make it out. And a lot of people have different advantages. Different races have different advantages. And one thing about us is that once we start, we don't stop. You keep going. When we work 100%, especially the paisas and the Chicanos. There's a lot of talented people out there, but sometimes they give up. Sometimes they don't like going down the path. Sometimes they get caught up in stuff. And if you're willing to sacrifice and go the hard way to bring people up, and to show people how to invest the money, how to work the money. Because if you're a billionaire and you open up some stuff and you get some raza to start working for you, then hey, if they're making 100 million, then what's better? If you get somebody else to start doing it, then you get 2 millionaires, then 3 millionaires, or 4 millionaires, and it starts, and it's raza, and you start breaking that curse, and you start picking it up. You start building up the raza, and obviously the white person, the the black person, whoever it is, they might not like it, and your own people might not like it. They might get jealous, but you got to keep pushing to the top, and it isn't over. It isn't over until God says it's over. You keep going, you keep pushing, you keep striving for the best, and at the end of the day, you started with nothing, you're gonna end with nothing. But what God wants to see you do is bring people up. It's to give. It's the little things, a little food here, a little something there. And you know what? When you start doing that stuff and you get stuck in hard times, what does God do? God pulls through, because you pull through for people that didn't have nothing. And that's a lot of things that people that were born with money and that had better, like advantages, that they can't see how the people are when they're broke. You can't understand it. And that's something that I really think about. It's like, well, hey, there's more broke people than there is rich people. How can we get all the races, and the blacks, the browns, the Asians, the Koreans, and the people that are broke, how can we make them to get more money? And since I came out of nothing, and we came out from the ghetto, so I understand. So when you make it, you're able to bring those people up with you. You got to bring somebody up with you. You can't just have all this money and, all the money, and you got the house, you got everything, you got the vacations, you got all that stuff. But you got to remember that there's somebody out there that's struggling and that's trying to make it. And you got to help out. And that's something that God wants to see from you.
You remember the times when we used to go in the van? Mm-hmm. The van that we have?
Yeah.
You remember the times we used to go to the motel ministry?
Yeah, I remember I used to go in there, and we used to have the what was it? The turkey giveaways or whatever it was. And I remember I used to go in there, and everybody, because I was a little kid, so everybody used to give me knuckles, high fives, and all that stuff. And it's like, man, you come a long way.
The motel ministry?
Yup.
Everybody high as a kite. Yep. Prostitutes, everything in there, huh?
Yeah, everything.
Kids living in there, and we'll go knock door to door at all the motels. Yep. And go feed them, homie.
But you have to. You have to, because nobody else is going to do it. You get those people that are really jealous out there, and that reality is like they don't care. They'll do anything to get up there and get the money, but they won't help out the people. You got to help out the people. If I can grow, why can't you grow? Why can't we all grow? Why can't we all make it? And when we all make it, everybody starts getting less stressed out. And what does that mean? Less stressed out? Then that means everybody starts loving each other more. Everybody's cool. There's you don't have to worry. And if everything goes good like that, you teach the kids the right way. You show them how to do it, how to not to do it, because you've been through it, and your grandpa's been through it, your great grandpa's been through it. So it trickles down. The good habits start happening now, and you start breaking those bad habits. And when you break those bad habits, you keep going up. You go into your different levels, different levels. Now my dad had to sacrifice. I have to sacrifice a little bit, but I know when I have my kids that they're able to see more of the finances and have it easier. That's what you guys want, right? You guys want to see your grandkids or your kids have something easier, and your great grandkids. And my dad says, well, I hope it keeps going for a couple generations. Nah, I hope it goes till God comes onto this earth, and and whatever it happens, he said it would happen in the Bible, that our generation makes it to that up on top. They gotta make it up on top, because if they don't make it up on top, why then why did we do it? Why did we do all this work for? You have to do the sacrificing. You have to, and you know, you got to think about it. It's like, if I don't do it, then who will?
Yeah.
Your kids are gonna do it. Your great grandkids are gonna do it. But since you're already out the door almost, or since you're barely going up on it, then run with it. Go get it. Go do it. Even if you gotta wake up early in the morning, you gotta go wake up early in the morning. You gotta go work. You gotta go work. Everything you do, give it 100%. And I know there's sometimes where you're not gonna give it 100%. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be sick. Whatever the case might be, but you gotta keep pushing and have faith. Have faith in what you do, because if you don't have faith, then it's not gonna happen. Because you don't believe in God, that God's gonna take you there. And I noticed that with the business, that you have to believe it. I believe every day when I wake up, and it's like, one day I have my cars, I have my Porsche, I have a Lamborghini, hopefully I have a big old house, and you gotta believe it. Conor McGregor did it. De La Hoya did it. All these people believed. And what happened? They got there. Now there's some people that believe that they can't make it. But that's where you come into play. That's where those other people that you help out, that's where they come into play. They help that person out. And when you start helping people out, it starts getting easier.
Yeah. Still to this day, people will tell me, hey, you remember when you did this for me? I don't, dog. I can barely remember yesterday, you know? And they'll try to have me remember those days of whatever. I took them to the men's home or whatever the case might be. Like, I don't remember, dog. You know, they spent some, but, you know, guys, I never try to take credit. It's like you said, you got to help out somebody else. It's okay. It's fine. You're doing your work. You're doing it, you know? If not, if you don't become a millionaire, that's fine, you know? Like you said, you become like us. We go help out, we go do. But, hey, we're building our riches up in heaven, and we're becoming millionaires spiritually, you know, and not just in vain.
Right.
You know, we help out, we do whatever we can and provide and assist and, you know, counsel, talk to, or whatever. And it's a blessing, you know. But get up and do it. Don't just stay there. Break those curses from your families, from your loved ones that has been picked up and they don't want to let it go, you know. Break them, you know. Rosa says, you must be a proud dad. He knows what he wants out of life. I'm very proud. Very, very proud. But, you know, when you live a hard life, Rosa, a hard life, you want the best for your kids. And when you can't provide the best for your kids, doggone it, you're going to do everything you can so you can have a roof over your head. You fake it till you make it, homie. You know, you fake it till you make it. I did everything that I could, you know, and at times we didn't have feria. At times we didn't have nothing. And we made it, we managed, and God always provided. Sometimes we had to eat frijoles with maybe some carne cut up or whatever, but we couldn't go out and eat at times, but we always pushed through. And, you know, we didn't have enough money for the bills, but somehow, some way, it came through. And I couldn't give them a college degree like that. I couldn't give them their room just at that time. I had to build the room. They helped me build their room. We added to the house and everything, and everything was so hard for us. But it happened, and they helped me do the drywall, the insulation, the roofing, right?
Right.
They helped me do everything, and we got it done. And I gave them a room. The room is shared with the washer and dryer. And my daughter had the other room. That room was originally the little washer and dryer room, but I gave it to her. And, you know, our house is small. It's not big. It has a big property because I could put the trucks and the trailers, but the house itself is very small. But as small as it is, it's a big old freaking heart that we have. That ambition, that hunger in life, that I ain't going out like no chump. I ain't going out like this. My kids are not going to be gang members. My kids are not going to know what PCP tastes like. My kids are going to know what cocaine tastes like. They ain't going to know. They ain't going to know what Yeska tastes like. They ain't going to know none of that stuff. I've showed them. I've explained it to them. But they ain't going to go to juvenile hall. They ain't going to go to county. They ain't going to know what it is to go fight a lawyer. They ain't going to district attorney or judge. They ain't going to know the system like that. They might work for the system, become juras or something, but they'll never know how it is to be on the other side. So I will always do what I need to do to make it happen, to pay the bills, and to be able to put a roof over their head. Now, let's get this clear. If it wouldn't be for Maria, my wife, if it wouldn't be for her, there wouldn't be none of this. No Rockin Chicano or none of that. Because her working and me hustling, we made it happen. We won't see eye to eye. These kids seen us arguing, fighting. They seen it all.
Came normal.
It was a normal thing.
Yeah.
But she helped out so much. She put in a lot of work at Holly. She would have to get the vacation checks or whatever at times, and it helped us out so much. So she does take the credit. Like I've always said, I walk in with nothing, I walk out with nothing, But while I'm there, when I'm under that roof, I will make it happen for these kids to go out there. I was hoping that he would pick up the boxing career. There was a lot of money spent on there, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of anger and fighting with the coaches and whatever we had to do. But they warned me, it's going to come a time where most likely he ain't going to want to do it. And that's the time you got to back out and let it happen. And you'll know whether or not it was meant for them. When you live a dream, when you desire and you seek a dream and it's not your dream, it won't be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. But it's okay, because with that came discipline. And if it was worth all that failure to get discipline, then hey, that's firme. He's running the warehouse now. He has some big goals and big dreams. He almost turns 18, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to raise these kids, I always hear, they're good kids, and you raised them right. I think I just did it because I didn't want them to live the life that I lived. They could live poor, but they don't have to be poor like that. They don't have to live that life that I had. And I'm going to make sure that they don't live or touch those drugs or get caught up in any madness, because that's my job and that's my duty. As a dad, as a husband, as a father, as a provider, as a leader, that's the most important thing, that your generation and your next generation of your own bloodline doesn't get diluted with all the nonsense that's out here in this world. They could understand. I teach them history. I teach them about the raza. I teach them the things that they don't teach you in school. I break everything down for them. I don't hide, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I break everything down for them. They'll ask me sometimes, and I have to answer it to the best of my knowledge of what I did to that individual, whatever, So they could understand that, hey, you know what, this happened because of that, this happened because of this, and I'm upfront with them. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm strict with them. At the end of it, if indeed I end up in convalescent home or whatever, and they don't want to take care of me or whatever the case might be, you know, you get older and you become like the baby now. The tables turn. It's okay. No hard feelings. I did what I did in my life and raised some kids, you know. I left a legacy. That's fine. If this is where my last days are at, in this bed or convalescent home, whatever the case might be, that's fine. Ain't no hard feelings. You know, in this life, the life that I live in, ain't no hard feelings. Ain't no turning back and shoulda, coulda, woulda. Ain't no, hey man, hey dad, you should have stuck with me, with my mom, and you know, and me try to go look for my dad and all that, this papaya, or try to hear an apology from my mom that's passed away. Like, no, that's the way it was meant to be. For you to become a good parent. Because if the apologies came, if this had came, if they had worked together, then your life would have been different. And my kids wouldn't have been born. You have to look at it at the big picture, not at the little picture. So at the end of it all, when I'm already at the convalescent home or whatever, and I'm in my dying bed, and no regrets, homie. The only regret would probably be there is that I didn't have enough time to tell people how to really live in life. Tell people about God. Let them know that, hey, you know, he's merciful, but you could go far in life. You ain't got to stop there at the bar. You ain't got to stop at your 401k and your retirement. You ain't got to stop there. You can keep on going, keep on doing, keep on pushing. You ain't got to stop with your kids because they turned 18 and they left the house. You ain't got to stop like that. Keep on going. But if that's my destiny, that's where I pass, and that's fine. I come to the conclusion to understand that the real challenges of life, I've accepted. The real challenges of being a part of society, I've accepted them. The challenges to be a parent, I've accepted it. The challenges to fail, I've accepted it. The challenges to be successful, I've accepted it. There will be ups and downs. Es una pasada in this lifetime. I could remember when I was 15, when I was his age, 16, 17 years old, like my son's age. I could remember. My mind ain't that bad. I still remember. But yet, so long ago, but it was just like it was last week. But we aging. We're getting older. Our body's getting corroded. Our bones are getting weaker. Our muscles are getting weaker. Our nerves and all that's not the same no more. Vamos por pasada. We're just here for a hot second, homie. Can you understand? Can you accept? Can you see? Can you really grasp what life is really about? Or is it just la-di-da? A big old happy showdown in life and walked through life just ignoring everything, being fun, happy, and forget about everybody else. It's about you. Nah, it's not about you, homie. It's about what's around you, your life, your kids, your destiny, your loved ones, your friends. Be kind, be gentle. Die at peace, homie. When you get ready to meet the Lord, be prepared. Die at peace. I've accomplished everything that I could accomplish. And go out the door without no regrets. You know? Understand the meaning of life. Love it. Be kind. Have a good heart. Be sensitive when you need to be sensitive. Be hard when you need to be hard. Push when you need to push. Sit back and stand still when God speaks to you. Be still. Be okay. Everything will be fine, man. You know? Your loved ones have passed. Your friends have passed. They've gone on to the other side. It's just a matter of time before you go see them. It's a matter of time before they accept you and walk you in through the gates. What gates? It's up to you, homie. It's up to you, dog. You know, I'm not here to judge and tell you you're going to the other side. No. I ain't got to tell you where you're going to end up at. My name is Anthony. I'm here to tell you about my mistakes and who I am and what I've done wrong. But how am I pushing? Living a better life. I don't get high. I don't drink. I'm imperfect. But doggone it, this podcast, Rockin Chicano, and everything what he has given me is God. Everything belongs to him, not me. I've accepted that. And when it comes down to showtime, oh, best believe it's him. Best believe that he's going to take it all. Any podcast, any lives, that's all him. I'll show you a good time. I'll take you to the car shows. I'll take you anywhere. Have a good time. But when it comes down to him, hey, give him his. I did the best that I could. I'm going to keep on doing the best that I could, you know? And I lived a hard life, but hey, my kids ain't going to live a hard life like that. I'm going to teach them how to be good workers, hustlers, movers, conquerors, dreamers, chasers, visionaries. Vatos ain't going to stop, homie. And I always push them. I always crack the whip on them. Go get it, boy. Go get it. Don't stop. Do I push you guys hard, Daniel?
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Anyways, what a blessing. Right, Alfred?
Golly, man. Taking it all in, bro. Every time, bro. It's right in the gut, bro. It's so true, man. It is so true. You know?
You know, when I learned, Alfred, when my first son passed away, and this one was being born, I took it easy, dog. You know why I took it easy? Because his kids ain't ours.
Yeah.
The kids are his, but he lets us use them, raise them into his ways, and then he goes and collects them again. You feel me?
That's right.
So I remember I lifted him up with Maria. I said, God, this is your child, not my child. You let me have for this time. And I thank you, dear Lord, and I will do my best that I can to raise him to be a good man, godly man, God-fearing man, and not a street kid, not an individual in the calles, not a gang member. I will do my best. If this is what you give me, and my responsibility is to go do all that, trust me, I won't let you down. You know? That's one thing I didn't do with my other child, dog. You know? Rosa, losing my son was the most painful thing as a parent could go through. It changes everything. I'm a woman of faith in Jesus. He has kept me. That's right. It's not easy. Mario, gotta walk through the through the security, go through work tonight. See you, brother. Much love. Oh, what's up, Mario? I know, dog. I'm supposed to call you Mario. These pants on me. I've been a little busy, but I got you. Mary, yes. G, amen. That's right. Jesse, what's up, man? Who's on? Gabriel, that's right. Gabriel, I'm confident that Anthony always helps and gives back. He has helped me out plenty of times, and I'm grateful for that. Much love, homie. No, thank you, Gabriel. You've been a blessing. So has Joe. Where's Joe at?
Joe.
He got in a big old car accident. Don't call nobody or anything.
I know, bro.
We try to call him up now, but he don't pick up his phone.
I know. He's been busy, bro. He's been busy. I know he's doing the rehab, man. A big shout out to Big Joe. Yeah, he was in a car accident, man. It's been a rehab. He's been on rehab for a couple months now.
Yeah, so I hope you guys got that clecha today.
That was good.
Pretty good, huh?
That was good.
That's deep. What do you think? Chicken head, what do you think?
That's some deep words right there.
You ready to go back home, homie? We got to handle our business, homie.
Yeah, I gotta go back home.
Huh?
To reality.
Yep,
Back
back
to
to
reality,
reality.
homie.
You thought you had it over? Shoot.
All right, pues, Raza. Anything you want to add, Alfred?
No, man. Hey, thanks so much for the words, brother. That was encouraging, man. It just it hits home, man. There's a lot to take in there, man. And every time we do this podcast or the stream, man, I always have to go back and re-listen to it, man, because there's just so much stuff that is so true, man. So thank you for sharing the word, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What
man.
about the 2 dogs with the 8 bodies?
Yeah, brother, that was right there.
Cucuy, fool. Cucuy.
That was a full on attack, spiritual attack right there, man.
Era el cucuy, homie.
Yeah, it's coming at full force, man. And it needs 4 dogs for each. 2 people, 4 dogs each, man. That's.
They had a dog body, but with 4 bodies,
Imagine.
and each demon was holding one up. And I was cool. I was calm, dog. I said, I get it. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
I just said, in the name of Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
And then next, you know, poof. Then I woke up. Thank you, Jesus. All right, pues, Raza. That concludes today's show. I hope you guys picked something up. I hope you guys understood some of the things or all of the things. And as for my criminal career life, that my schooling that I gave you guys, don't run with it. Don't explain it to you nobody and let it just die out on me, because we don't need that nonsense. The less we have people, our raza, up in those stands, the better that we are, homie. You know?
That's right.
All right, pues, much love and respects to everybody. We'll see you out there. Oh, and I got to speak to Little Man this weekend.
Oh.
It was Firme. So let's see where he's at. He's feeling better. So we're Firme. Gloria también. So let's see what's up. Hopefully he comes in, checks it out. You know, it's always been open for him. You know?
Awesome.
Real good.
Shout out, Little Man.
Shout outs to everybody. Rose, Little Man, Gloria, everybody. Nadine, all you guys, everybody that I've seen this weekend. Hey, much love and respects. And all my followers, thank you guys for always sharing. Thank you guys, Alfred, you and your family.
Anytime,
and
brother.
Chicken Head.
All right, you guys.
All right, pues. Much love and respect.
Thank you.